Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is really true, is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because, guys, 33 years ago I was a dumbass, but today, 33 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. Yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. I'm saying all that to say this. There's so many people out there still struggling with health issues, with addiction. I'm a nutritional health coach and I'm a recovery coach, and I am here to help you. All my services to you are free. Please, please reach out. Know that you are not alone. Someone is listening. And if anyone thinks my book can help them, because I sure do, you could go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. Please subscribe to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel. And listen, if you truly, truly, truly cannot afford my book, please reach out to me about that as well. I'm here to help you. Before I introduce my cool guests, let me give a shout out to a few of my sponsors. First, I've got Storm and Norman Selden, 732-245-4777, www.stormandnormanselden.com, booking dozens of attractions for concerts and performances on venues of all sizes. Guys, he's got from a 5 to 12-piece band. He is incredible on the keyboards. He actually came live in studio last week, and the Steinway pianos, if anybody remembers all them, well, he's got original ones. And a lot of people probably don't know this, but he helped get Larry Chance from the Earls started. Remember the song, Remember Then? Larry Chance. Back in the day, we're going way back, guys, okay? He helped get him started. And Larry became like family to me. Larry Chance, we love and miss you. Rest in peace, sir. Then we've got Ken Ryan and Linda Garofolo, The Way It Used to Be, singing songs from the 50s to the 80s, a tribute show to the greatest music and voices of all time. And guys, Ken also does Elvis for me, baby. That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I want to give a shout out to both of them, two of the most beautiful people you'll ever meet. They do so many fundraisers for so many people, and they're just incredible. Then I've got John Bishop, a.k.a. Johnny B., singer-songwriter, host of the Entertainment Luncheon South, a nonprofit network created for the creative. His Facebook group page, Entertainment Luncheon South. He's also the partner in the Joey D and the Johnny B Rock and Oldies Band. I want to give a shout-out to him and his wife, Linny, because they put on this luncheon once a month. It's actually going on today. I think it's the first Tuesday of every month. It's by invite only. It's $20, and you get incredible entertainment and food. And he's had legends fly in to be there. Again, it's by invite only, though. So listen, if you tell him you know Geri, you might get in. No. Most of my shows are on Tuesdays, so I'm hoping to be there in November. But guys, what they're doing is amazing, and they're keeping the music alive, the entertainment alive, the radio show hosts alive. They're unbelievable, him and his wife. They don't keep a penny, not a penny of this money, okay? So now, Michael D'Amore, singer, songwriter, performer, entertainer, www.michaeldiamore.com. You can buy some of his songs. He's off the freaking charts. Incredible. Then we've got Michael Zanman, singer, entertainer, performer, www.mzanman.com. Let me tell you about Michael Zanman, okay? First of all, he's like family, and so is Michael D'Amore. And Zanman is crazy awesome, okay, as an entertainer and a singer. He opened up for Michael D. Moore for the second year in a row at Let East this past weekend, and I got to MC both years, and it was just amazing. John Monforto, the man of many faces. I named him that. Singer, actor, celebrity impersonator, and tribute artist. Guys, he was given the title by a former Philadelphia mayor as the official Philadelphia Rocky impersonator. www.johnmonforto.com. And he also performed. I got him into Let East this year, and people went crazy. He's amazing. He is Rocky, but he does over 30 different characters, and he sings. He's got a great voice. He does Elvis. My three favorites, being the Italian I am, of course, The Godfather, of course, Rocky, and then, of course, Elvis. He's amazing. I want to give a shout out to one more sponsor. Paula Ann from Ablaze Entertainment and Freedom Rings Festival, helping survivors of human trafficking to live a life of normalcy. Imagine. The Geri Petito Show is also one of their sponsors. www.freedomringsfestival.com. So now it's time, guys, for me to introduce my two really cool guests, okay? So we've got here John Ezzo, okay? Say hello to everybody.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
And we have his beautiful wife, Tina.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So the reason why I said she had to be part of this is because, I'm just saying she's his right-hand lady, I mean, I've been to their shows and, she does a lot. So,
Yes, she does.
Right? Okay.
Yes,
So
she
now,
does.
let's start with you, John.
Sure.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is John Ezzo. Grew up in South Brunswick, New Jersey. Born in Brooklyn, Williamsburg to be exact, but moved to Jersey because my father wanted a yard. He wanted space. He didn't want to be in the city. He grew up in Ohio, so he wanted a yard and grass and space. So we moved to Jersey, and I've been in South Brunswick pretty much ever since. So that's about over 50 years now. And I started playing the guitar right after he passed away. My father passed away when I was about 9 years old, and he played.
Okay.
And so I remember watching him play, and so I started playing guitar then, and then, from there, the natural progression is to start writing, and, I just lost track of it for a little while because, you get married, you have kids, and life, John Lennon has a lyric, life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. So that's what happened to me, and I got back into it fairly recently. But that's kind of the Reader's Digest version of John.
So, producer, put their names back up on the screen for me, please. Yep. So, now, let's hear from you, lady. Come on.
Well, I am Tina Ezzo, and I also was born and raised in South Brunswick. And John and I met in the fall of 1985.
Okay.
And started out as dating, and then we got married in 1992, and he certainly had his music, like he said, growing up. And at the beginning, when we first got married, he even was able to do some recording at home. And then we got busy with kids and sports and family stuff. And then when we were all back home during COVID, he started to get his guitar out and play a little bit. And then he wanted to play a little bit more and share it through different platforms. And here we are a few years after that, and he's performing, and I just help him out. I'm like his roadie.
Yes.
You are, absolutely. I've
Yeah.
seen you guys in action. Yes, you are. So we all need one of her. You know what I'm saying?
I know I do.
So, all right. So you're a singer-songwriter, okay? And songwriting tells your story.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about that. I love it.
Well, I have two albums out now. In let's see, 2022, my first album called My Past Is Here. That one really has a lot of songs about my life. Sorry, about my life, and So there are a lot of personal songs on that album, whether it's dealing with my father's passing away or dealing with my mom growing up without a father and my mom having to work through that, or my brother dealing with different things, and so a lot of the albums, both of them, are snippets into my life and stories that used I used the stories to to get them out, and
Okay.
and to they were I was basically self-soothing, for lack of a better word, of kind of because not that I want a pity party from anybody, but when you lose your father that young, there's two roads that you could go. I chose fortunately a positive one, and I dove into music and just you know didn't get into too much trouble. I'm not going to say I was an angel or anything, but
Right.
I didn't get into too much trouble, and so yeah. So both of the albums are snippets into, or like a little view into my life.
Okay. So now, Tina, let me ask you something. Growing up, what kind of music did you like?
Well, there was often music playing in the house. The things that my father would put on. And that tended to lean more toward country artists. Um, it wasn't really until probably middle school that I started to pay more attention to what was popular as far as like pop music. So, I guess the first artist I really remember taking an interest in would be Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, cool. Okay, very cool.
But the interesting thing, meeting Tina, and we were pretty young still, and coming around her house, and her dad definitely played more of a country, music. But I think one of the things that endeared me to him early on is that I could talk Johnny Cash with him, and I could talk Elvis Presley with him, because those are artists that he really liked, and so the fact that I was interested in those artists, Hank Williams Sr., like those were things my dad listened to, so he knew I wasn't a BSer. I knew I was listening to this music. I wasn't saying it because I knew he liked it. I really did like these things. So that kind of was a connection musically for all of us, because he was into pretty country is pretty much where his wheelhouse was,
Okay.
or is. He's still alive.
So now, all right, this might be hard for you to answer, but do you have a favorite singer, favorite group?
Her or me?
You.
Me. Wow. Well, anybody who's watching this who knows me knows my favorite band of all time is Kiss.
There you go.
I've been a diehard since 1977, and they just. But again, the timing of that is interesting because that's when my father passed away. I'm sorry. So that's when my father passed away in '77, and they were a good outlet for me. Every magazine that I could find on them, any book, anything, I would read about it. But before Kiss, and we've spoken about this, before Kiss was Elvis Presley. That was, you had asked Tina what was the first music that she remembers. Well, the first music that I remember was Elvis Presley, um, and uh, and it was from my father who gave me my first Elvis album.
Imagine that.
Yeah, 1975. He gave me an album that has now been called. It was just called Elvis when it came out,
Okay.
but now they've like if you go on all the streaming services, they list it as Today. Elvis Today is the name of the album, and it's got It's Impossible on it, and it's got a song called Fool on it that's really good.
I love that.
And his version of the Bob Dylan song "Don't Think Twice, It's All Right" is on it, and that album, that was the first piece of music that I remember listening to, and just You know, and I almost brought a stack of my Elvis albums with me today. I was like, maybe I'll bring all my Elvis with me. But so yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, my favorite band, I guess, of all time is Kiss. Elvis was the first music
Yep.
that I remember hearing and really being interested in. And then there was just so much music after that. I mean, you know, there's so many artists that I love to this day.
Yeah.
That, you know, Billy Joel and Bruce Springsteen and just there's too many to try to mention. But you know, I'm an audiophile, like without question. There's music's involved in everything with I do. So
You know, music, I believe, is involved with almost everything everyone does anymore. Because even through COVID, right, all these poor people that were locked, you know, in their homes, and some still to this day are bedridden and all that. And I did a bunch of lives actually yesterday at Let East, and you had to see everybody thanking me because they're stuck home.
yeah,
You know, so you know, you put a 6-month-old baby in a bouncy, right? You put music on, they're gonna bounce.
yeah.
It's innate.
Yeah.
Okay, so music saves lives. You know, I believe that 100%.
Yeah, I like to say that music is the ultimate time machine, because you can put on a song. I mean, I'm 57 years old, and I can put on a song, "Summer '69" from Bryan Adams, and it's 1985 in a second, and where I was, and it is the ultimate time machine. And so I just and to touch on what you just said with the whole pandemic, that's when I got back into it. Is I picked up the guitar and I started performing live on Facebook, and I'd invite friends, and and at least it was something to do. I mean, I was getting, you know, up to 50, 60 people watching me on Facebook Live playing my guitar, and that's when everybody was like, you know, when this is over, you should really go out and do
Okay.
something.
Was she one of them telling you that?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
There
absolutely,
you go, girl.
absolutely. And you know, it was something I always wanted to be. I wanted to be a rock star. I mean, what kid? You either want to be a baseball player when I was growing up or a rock star. Those were the
That's so funny.
those were the two things that I wanted to be. And you know, in a small way, I'm living my little rock star dreams now. You know, and it's fun. I'm having a good time with it. You know, makes the day go faster.
That's so cool. I love that. So, do either of you have any like favorite songs from back in the day that you can recall, or were there too many to even answer? Tina, you go first.
Oh, I have a couple of go-to favorites.
All right, let's hear.
It's Goody Two Shoes by Adam Ant and Love Shack by the B-52s.
Well, you know what? You're the only one that's ever answered that quickly. Okay, that's great because people are like, well, I have so many, but all right, you know, that was cool. I like them both. Okay, John.
Oh wow!
Here we go.
See this? Yeah. All right. If I've gotta go real quick here.
Pressure's on.
Scenes from an Italian Restaurant by Billy Joel is a go-to. I love that song for its structure, and I got to find out that from Billy actually got to find out that the whole idea of that, you know the song I'm talking about?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I'm just making sure.
Oh, yeah, heck yeah, baby.
Okay. Well, that song was actually two songs put together.
Okay.
Okay. He originally wrote and even performed the section in the middle. Brenda and Eddie had it already by the summer of '7. That middle section.
Okay.
That was called the Ballad of Brenda and Eddie. That was what he originally wrote. He didn't record it, but
Oh, okay, 'cause I didn't-
yeah, no. He wrote that originally and even performed it a few times early on, you know, at shows, and said this is a song that you know I haven't put out yet, but he felt like it wasn't finished. He felt like there was more that needed to happen, and he was in the studio recording "The Stranger," and he had this piece of music that it's a little piece of music, but he was like it sounds like the prelude to something.
Oh, that's
it sounds
pretty
like
cool.
it sounds like something that we need to it would bring you to something. And but he got really, I swear this is the story
Yeah.
from Billy's mouth.
Yeah.
So he got very frustrated and he goes, and what we did, we got frustrated, so him and Phil Ramone went out to get something to eat because they were like, you know what, we'll get back to recording. So, I'm sorry.
There you go.
So they went out to get something to eat, and he gives credit to a waiter who walked up to him at the Italian restaurant that said, bottle of red, bottle of white, whatever kind of mood you're in tonight.
I love
And
this.
Billy Joel said, thank you. And they left.
So cool.
They left immediately, went back to the studio, and bottle of red, bottle of white. And he just built the song around the section in the middle of the ballad of Brenda and Eddie. And there is a little story about scenes from an Italian restaurant. So for me,
That's cool.
you know, as a songwriter, as somebody who pretends to be a songwriter, that to me is just the ultimate in having pieces and going, that's not good enough, that's not good enough. But if I put them together, you know, now we've got something here. So that was kind of my first little. So that song, if I've got to choose one song, I would go with the Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. It's just one of the greatest songs.
That's pretty cool, and I love that story.
Oh, I got so many stories
Okay.
that I could share with you about music.
Because that's incredible. Like, if you think about these legends, and he's in a restaurant, and like, bottle of red or bottle of white, that's it, we're out of here, let's go, we
Yep.
got it.
Yep. Yeah. No.
You know?
He also told the story about the song, the Ballad of Billy the Kid, right?
Okay.
It's one of his early songs.
Okay.
And he said he always tells the story. He goes, everything in this story is completely, because it talks about Billy the Kid. But he said nothing in this story is accurate. It's all made up by some kid who grew up in Long Island, meaning himself. And he wanted to write a Western song, so he wrote.
That's cool.
But I mean, songwriter stories like hearing Bruce Springsteen talk about his songwriting process. So those are the people that influence me. As much as I love Kiss and they're my favorite band, I don't write anything like them. So
Okay, hold on. Why? No, I'm just curious. Why?
I don't know. I mean, I it's just not in my wheelhouse to write like that.
Okay.
And that's not putting it down.
No. Well, you love them, so you're not putting them
You
down.
know, I mean, I think Paul Stanley as a songwriter doesn't get enough credit because he writes songs with a great hook. I mean, Rock and Roll All Night and Party Every Day, what a great
Oh, yeah,
hook.
come on,
You know,
right?
and you know the song within a minute.
Yes.
Shout It Out Loud. So many songs that he's written that have that hook. And you know he doesn't get enough credit that way, and those are great songs. They're great rock and roll songs. That's just not my wheelhouse. Because go ahead.
Your wheelhouse, is it, well, you tell us. What's your wheelhouse?
My wheelhouse would be in the singer-songwriter vein. Jim Croce, James Taylor,
Okay.
Billy Joel, Bruce Springsteen, John Denver.
Okay.
Barry Manilow. They write songs that are well structured, and what they all kind of have in common is they have hooks. They all have hooks, and that you hear it once. That's all you need to do is hear a lot of their songs, and they're in your brain. Paul McCartney and John Lennon.
You're right.
That the art of writing a song that's an earworm I love that. So there's so many people that when they listen to my music that have told me, I catch myself singing one of your songs. I'm at home and I'm cleaning the house or whatever, and all of a sudden I catch myself humming, one of your songs. That's the greatest compliment in the world.
That's very cool, yes.
So or that if I'm playing a show and I do one of my songs and I tell people this is a song of mine, and halfway through it they're singing along.
Yes. I was at one of your shows recently on 33, and you're right, people were singing along to your songs.
So, that's that to me. So that those songwriters that I kind of rattled off really quick, that's who influenced my songwriting.
Cool.
That's where I came from musically.
So before we play, we have, I think, a couple tracks 2 or 3, I'm not sure. We have
I think there's 2 that we're playing
2
from
tracks,
the album.
and then he's going to give us a little mini concert, guys. But before we play his first track, producer, I just have one more question for him. So about how many songs have you written?
Oh,
About?
probably 75 to 85, somewhere
Okay.
there. You
How
know,
many have you recorded?
26 so far.
Okay. And is
Roughly.
there a reason why you didn't record all of them?
Financially first in the beginning when I was started recording, because some of the albums, the interesting thing, and I give the credit to my wife, the first title of the first album, My Past Is Here, she came up with that. We were sitting in a car, and I said, man, a lot of this music is my past. And she said, my past is here. I was like, beautiful.
I love that.
And
Love that.
see, credit.
Thank you.
That's right. He just gave her credit. Good boy. Good boy.
But you know, some of the songs on there, and this is I don't normally tell too many people this, but some of the songs on that album were recorded 40 years ago. You'd never know it. The quality of the recording is very good, but there are songs on both albums that were recorded 40 years ago.
Do you tell your age or no?
I just did. I'm 57.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, wow. So you did that when you were 17?
Yeah, there are songs that what are the ones?
Wow.
I'm trying to think of which ones I chose to play the recordings. I think one was. I don't remember which ones I sent
But
you,
that's
but
pretty cool.
I'll let you know if they're
Yeah,
ones that
That's pretty cool.
that are actually really old.
So, producer, let's give everybody a treat and play one of his songs.
When I look at you, something's just not there. Sometimes it seems as though we just don't care. Seems nothing I can say or do can make him go away from you. Just tell me how it's been going on. Tell me how it's been going on. Tell me where did I go wrong? Tell me now how it's been going on. You come home late, you won't explain. We never talk anymore. Maybe I expect too much from you. I just want it back like before. Seems nothing I can say or do can make him go away from you. Just tell me how it's been going on. Tell me how it's been going on.
That was awesome. So tell us about this song.
So okay, this is the first song on the latest album. Latest album is called "Dreams Are Real," and you can find it anywhere music streams, all the different platforms: Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, iTunes, Apple Music, Pandora, you name it, it's there. But that's the first track on the latest album, and that song actually that's one of the more recent songs. That was recorded at home, so that's a home recording. I played everything you heard. So the drums, the guitars, all the vocals, the bass guitar. So I played everything on that song, and I wrote it. When I wrote the song, was friends of ours were splitting up, and it turned out that somebody wasn't as faithful as they probably should have been, and so I kind of took the story of somebody being unfaithful and what the person just wanted to know is how long has it been going on, and where did I go wrong? So
Right.
I kind of just took that story and wrote it.
So anyone listening who's been cheated on, because we all have, okay, you didn't do anything wrong. They did. That's great, though.
Yeah.
I love it.
But so yeah, I particularly like that song a lot. It's a catchy little number. And like I said, it's the first song on the latest album.
So do you want to do your little mini concert now?
Sure, I can play a few songs.
All right, so we're going to have John play live, okay? Okay, producer, we're going to have him do live now.
Okie doke.
Turn your mic on, baby. You guys are going to love this. And John, if you want, after each song, tell us about it. Okay? Okay, John?
Yes.
Yep?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Guitar pick. It was in my pocket, I think.
You guys are going to love the green screen we've got for him. There it is.
Okay, so the first one I'm going to play is a little bit of another rocker on the new album. This song called "The Game," and it's a song about it's a song of defiance. Maybe is the best way for me to describe it to you. It's about looking at the life you grew up in. And the people who raised you, and kind of saying, I can do better. I'm not necessarily putting down the people who were there for me, but I'm saying, you know what, I can do better, and just watch me. And so it's called "The Game." Here I stand again on the outside, looking in at everyone. All those old familiar faces. I moved on, but I'm the only one. And I made it on my own. Hearts of fire turn to stone. And you watch your dreams washing away. They all laughed when I said I was leaving. Packed my bags and I was out the door. Looking back, it was the right decision. I saw their lives and I wanted more. And I made it on my own. Hearts of fire turn to stone. And you watch your dreams washing away. You've been standing still for such a long time. So afraid you might have lost the game. the same things that you came. Had a man of my own, hearts of fire turn to stone, and you watch your dreams washing away. No one said that life would be easy, no one ever gave a guarantee. Take a chance, it's all part of living. Dreams are real, not just a fantasy. And I made it on my own. Hearts of fire will turn to stone, and you watch your dreams washing away. You've been standing still for such a long time, so afraid you might have lost the game. Now you're looking back and the game is over. You're leaving with the same things that you came. You've been standing still for such a long time, so afraid you might have lost the game. Now you're looking back and the game is over. You're leaving with the same things that you came. That you came.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you very much. Now that's this thing is starting to fall on me here. So yeah, I mean that, like I said, that's the lead track on the album "Dreams Are Real," which that's where the title is mentioned in that song. I always thought it was an interesting thing to name, instead of naming the album like the same as one of the songs. I named the album a line from that song called "Dreams Are Real."
I love it.
Let's see here. This is another song off of "Dreams Are Real,"
Okay.
and I perform it a little differently live. It's a few people have heard me do it this way, Geri being one of them. And when I said I was gonna, or she asked me if I would do this, and I wanted to do this a lot, have this interview, she said, "Can you do this song the way you did it at the show?" I said, "Sure." So this is a song called "Young and Crazy." Now the funny thing about this song is it's supposedly written from. You would think I wrote it now, okay? Because it's someone looking back at their life and kind of saying, you know, I could have done things differently, or but you know, take your chances while you're still young and crazy, and that's, you know, pretty good advice, and you know, have some fun. But I wrote this song when I was probably about 20, you know, but I kind of wanted to imagine, back then when I wrote it, I was trying to imagine my life. You know, I was already looking forward, and I was already looking to what I knew my life was going to be better than what I grew up in. So I wrote this song then, and it's so funny to do it now and play it now, because now I'm singing it from the older man view, where I wrote it as a young man thinking what it might be like. So I thought it's a lot of words, sorry.
No, I love it.
So it's a song called "Young and Crazy." I watch my life as it dances by, chances I didn't take. So many times I held back, 'cause of rules I could not break. Memories of hanging out with all my friends, and wondering if I'd ever feel that way again. Take our chances while we're young. Sing our songs that are unsung while we're still young and crazy. While we're still young. Sometimes I lie awake at night, wondering if it's real. If I were gone tomorrow, all the emotions I didn't feel. So what I realize at this point is we're all given a choice. Make it on our own, and to speak with our own voice. Take our chances while we're young. Sing our songs that are unsung while we're still young and crazy. While we're still young. Oh, hold on to it or watch it drift away. Oh, the youth of it. So many things I didn't say. While we're still young and crazy. While we're still young. They say the mind is an empty book you fill with memories of days gone by and old friends and used to be's. It slips away, it moves so fast. Hold it while you can, for the boy you are today is tomorrow's man. Take our chances while we're young. Sing our songs that are unsung while we're still young and crazy. While we're still young and crazy. While we're still young. While we're still young. While we're still young and crazy.
One of my favorites of yours.
Thank you very much.
Love, love, love it.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that song. All right, so the last one I'm going to do, and bear with me here because I just figured this out today.
Uh-oh.
But I did this just for Jerry.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you very
This is
much.
especially for Jerry. I hope I remember all the lyrics.
We don't care. It's okay.
All right. So it's an Elvis Presley song. Wise men say only fools rush in. I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. No, I can't help falling in love with you.
Much, baby.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
All right, come on back over here.
Mic off.
Yes, mic off. Thank you. Okay, producer, switch us back. That was a lot of fun. That was a great job. You know, live is so much more incredible, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Like the tracks sound great, but when you're singing live, that's like, wow.
It's more powerful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's more powerful, and
Yep.
the emotion comes through. You know, clearly when people, if they go listen to Young and Crazy on the album, first of all, I play it a little different. It's a little faster pace. It's not a ballad, but they probably got the emotion more out of that
Yes.
performance than they will from listening to it on the album. You know, and that arrangement of "Can't Help Falling in Love," I can't take credit for it. I kind of, it's a very similar to Corey Hart.
Okay.
Did a version of it, and he used keyboards as opposed to a guitar.
Oh,
I
okay.
kind of, but you know that's I don't know if that's my favorite Elvis song, but it's in the top 5, and my cousin, who unfortunately has since passed, but my cousin, who when he got married, that was their wedding song. So when I hear that song, I think of him. I see him dancing with his wife, and yeah, it's just such a beautiful song.
So, okay, so you have the top 5 Elvis favorite songs, like you know them?
I could probably come up with them.
Well, let me hear.
Okay, well, "Don't Cry Daddy."
Okay.
Do I have to do it in order of, or just
No,
top 5, right?
no.
Yeah, "Don't Cry Daddy" is right there. I just said "Can't Help Falling in Love." His version of, oh my God, what the heck song is it now? Well, let me go back to "If I Can Dream."
Oh, of course, that's in
Is
mine too.
"If I Can Dream." And let's see here. "Suspicious Minds."
Okay.
And if I could remember the name of this, it's an Everly Brothers song that he does a version of that I just,
Do you remember, like, how it goes?
why I can't think of that.
Okay, that's okay.
So I'll go.
If you come up with it, yell, okay?
Okay.
right.
but yeah, I mean, but there's a lot. There's probably
When,
songs I've
yeah, when
forgotten.
people ask me, what's your favorite Elvis song? It is impossible. I have categories.
Yeah.
I have gospel favorites, okay, How Great Thou Art, come on. You know, then I have the sexy songs, Such a Night, that's the sexiest song Elvis ever sang, and at the end when he breathes heavy, honey. I have something to tell you about Such a Night. So, I've interviewed hundreds of ETAs. They won't sing it, okay, because they all say they can't be Elvis with that. And they don't want to do it because they know, right? So, my daughter and my grandson took me a few weeks ago as my Mother's Day gift and my grandmother's day gift to the Hard Rock Cafe in AC because Sean Sean Clush was his name. He's like one of the greatest ETAs out of Graceland. They even gave him the title. And so they said, we have to bring you. So they surprised me and we went. So we were only a few rows back in the center. And he's talking to everybody now. I stand up and yell, Such a Night. My grandson, who's 23, was so impressed. He didn't sing it. I'll tell you what happened. Within a tenth of a second after I said it, the entire band was playing it.
Yeah.
Like within a tenth of a second. So he sings the first line, and then he stops them and he goes to me, are you kidding me? I got to get through the rest of this concert. You want me to sing that song? He couldn't even do it.
Yeah.
All right? Yeah. So that song, forget it.
Let It Be Me was the
Okay.
song I was thinking of.
Okay, Let It Be Me. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And the other, I got to give a sixth one.
That's okay.
Please Release Me.
Oh, okay.
His version of that song, my father played for me when I was about, 6 years old. And he just sat me down and he was listening to Elvis and he said, I want you to listen to this song. Like, my dad was an interesting guy. There were certain moments where he was so mindful, for like a word that didn't exist then,
Okay.
but now being a very mindful person, like staying in the moment. And he put that song on and he said, listen to this. Just listen, don't, and I was a 7-year-old kid, like, bouncing around or whatever, but he was like, just focus for me for a couple of minutes, just listen. So, and when I hear that song, I can really get to that moment, like I said, a time machine kind of thing.
Yes.
So that's another one that, and I've been trying to perform If I Can Dream, and that song's no joke. You have to really be able to sing to do that song. I can't do it. I've tried.
Sean sang that. And you know why that song was written.
Yeah,
right?
that was the whole thing with the 68 comeback special and Bobby Kennedy and Martin Luther King being passed, being murdered.
He had someone write it for Martin Luther King specifically.
Yeah.
And that song is just, forget it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And it's the thing that's amazing about that. The recording that was a hit and the recording that everybody knows was live. That's right. He performed that
That's right.
live.
That's right. And that's right. Okay?
There was no remastering, remixing, none of that stuff.
Think about that,
He
right.
just got up there, he sang that song, that's one of the, to me, I have a bunch of music friend groups, a group of music friends that we get together and we talk about music. That's what we do.
That's cool.
And we all started talking about the greatest live performances of all time. And for me, there's two
Okay.
that I can't decide which one was greater.
Okay, I'll tell you which one was, but go ahead.
Okay.
Which two are they?
All right, so one is Elvis with If I Can Dream.
Okay.
Because yes, that was a television special, but he cut that live.
That's right.
There was no mixing or nothing.
That's
He cut it live. And then there's Freddie Mercury at Live Aid in 1985.
Okay.
One of the greatest live performances ever.
Yes. That was too, but Elvis, number one, him too. I mean, listen, think about how great that is, even being second, right under Elvis, right? Okay.
I think Freddie would probably say, that's fine.
I
I'm
think
cool
Freddie
with
would
that.
say that,
Because Crazy Little Thing Called Love was written for Elvis, right?
Yes.
Oh, you did know that?
So, wait, yes, because we did a whole interview about Elvis. Well, we've done many interviews about Elvis, but I didn't really know that until that interview.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That was Queen's little tribute
Yeah, that's so cool.
to the King of Rock and
Because
Roll.
when I was young, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And when we were doing this interview, I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
No, there was, and what was the band that covered Jailhouse Rock in the 80s as like a tribute to Elvis Presley? It was a heavy metal band that did it. So, no, listen, he's there's a reason why they call him the king. So,
So amazing. But all right, I want to talk about your song about
Sure.
your younger self one.
sure.
All right. So how old were you when you wrote that one?
Like I said, I was about 20 when I sat down and had the idea of thinking about my life, fast forwarding somehow in my brain of what life is going to be like, and then I'll be sitting there thinking about my old times with my friends.
Okay.
So that was kind of the concept of
Okay.
why I wrote it. And if I had to choose the greatest that anything I've written that I feel is great is the last verse of that. They say the mind is an empty book you fill with memories of days gone by and old friends and used to be's. It slips away, it moves so fast, so hold it while you can, because the boy you are today is tomorrow's man.
So
So to me, that's the best lyrics I've ever
it's
written.
amazing.
Thank you.
It's amazing. So,
But I was 20.
but you gotta write another one now. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Going back in time
Yes.
now and about that song.
Yeah. And our friend Kevin did
That's
that.
right. So our friend Kevin, all right, yes. He came live in studio with his grandson.
Yes.
That was an incredible interview. That kid, I don't even want to call him a kid, but he was.
Yeah.
What's
No,
he,
he's-
12,
He's
13, something
very,
like that?
very talented young man.
Not
Yes.
only talented, even the way he was articulate with every word he said and how he talked. I was like, what? He
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah.
But our friend Kevin wrote My Younger Self.
Yeah.
And I interviewed him on another network years ago, and we played it, and I challenged him on air and said, now you have to write another song now as an older man.
Yeah.
And about that song, he wrote that song, I think, in his late 20s or something.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
His late 20s, tops 30, to his younger self.
Yeah.
So then he wrote another one.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
So you have to do the same.
I will do my best to
Okay.
come up with something. I think that it's a good idea. It's an interesting idea.
Yes.
But it's something that there's a lot of songs I'm working on already.
Yep.
For another album. So
Very
I'm
cool.
very excited about it.
Very cool. So now, girlfriend. All right.
Let me move out of the way.
Do you have a favorite song that he's written? Or a few favorite?
Yes.
Okay, tell us.
I can't.
Wait, talk a little louder, babe.
I can't really, like, I'll mess up the titles and whatever. I know what they are. I
Okay,
can
okay.
sing all the lyrics.
Okay.
But as far as the titles,
Okay.
I lose them. But there is a song that I know he wrote for me
Yes.
that I'm not 100% accurate on my title.
Can you help her out?
The one on the first album?
Yeah,
Coming Home to You.
Home to You. That's what I thought.
Coming
Okay.
Home to
I
You,
didn't want to
yes.
mess it up.
All right,
Because isn't
all
there a Kiss song with a similar
Coming
title?
Home, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, I get closer now.
but yeah, so I know, I'm sure there's some influence of me in some of the other ones too.
I'm
But
sure.
I know that one specifically is written for me.
Yes.
And that's really special.
Coming Home to You?
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's on the first album.
Okay.
And there's actually, it's funny, because, yes, there are certain songs, or even just certain sections of songs, that lyrically I'm talking about her.
Of course.
Because it could be a song that is, ultimately, maybe it might be a sad song, but there's a section of it where I'm talking about being happy. That would be, assumption of we're talking about her. So yeah, there are certain songs that she's referenced in. But on what little thing that I've done on the first two albums, so the last song on the first album is called "Coming Home to You." Now there is an extra track; it's an acoustic version that comes of a song that's already on the album. But the last new song on the album is a song for her. So I thought on the latest album, the last song would be a song that's kind of written for her as well.
Okay.
Okay. Unfortunately, when I wrote the song, the name Tina isn't the most musical name.
That's what
Oh
he
my
says.
gosh,
but
I
I
love
know
this.
Tina the ballerina, so
Okay.
It
Right,
just
girl.
well, I had this piece of music with a great chorus, and the name Tina just would not fit. So I used a different name.
Uh-oh.
But she knows that the song Valerie is really her.
All right, because you needed 3 syllables instead
Yes.
of 2.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give him a little pass on that. Okay,
Yeah.
a little one. I didn't say a big pass. A little one.
will we?
But lyrically, all the words
Okay.
are
About her.
about her.
Yes.
And you know, it's funny because I check Spotify. I told you I check it like every day to see how the numbers are doing, see how the album's doing.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
So yeah, as of today, on Spotify, just Spotify. This doesn't include any of the other streaming services. On Spotify alone, "Dreams Are Real" has surpassed the 50,000 stream plateau, which came out in January. So
Woo, baby.
basically in 8 months,
Okay, very cool.
the album has been streamed over 50,000 times.
That's pretty cool.
In
Imagine if you got a frickin' dollar for each time it was streamed.
You don't get $1, but I do get deposits of very small amounts of money, so it's kind of cool.
But that would be cool.
It
Imagine
would be
that.
great. It would be unbelievable if I was getting $1.
That's beautiful.
But yeah, so it's and "Young and Crazy," incidentally, has been streamed more than any other song on the album.
That's pretty cool.
But the last 28 days, out of nowhere, this song "Valerie" has jumped up. People are starting to listen to it. So it's so interesting to watch the streams and see where they're being streamed and which songs are popular at whatever time. And we're going to be hearing another track off the album. It's a song called "Tell Me Now" that we're going to play, and that song has been steady like for a while now, just playing and being streamed like crazy. Is that what that was? I was one. Is that what that was? So yeah. So it's so cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so happy with the streams and
Yeah,
that
of
people are
course,
listening.
of course.
That it's been listened to in 48 countries throughout the world, which is really kind of interesting to see that. And it's a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying it.
So now, for all the locals, tell everybody like where you'll be next.
Okay, so on this Saturday, I will be at Grover's Mill Coffee House, and I'm playing there from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And my friend Laura Simzak, I got it right.
You did.
Laura Simzak is going to be joining me for a few songs. Then on the 21st of September, I am at Hamalate.
I love that place.
I'm back at Hamalate on the 21st from 6 to 9 p.m.
What night is that?
That's a
Friday?
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
That's a
Okay.
Saturday night at Hamalate. And so we got some more shows in October, but my website, you can go on my website, you'll see all my shows. The website is ezzomusic.com, so EZZOMUSIC, one word, ezzomusic.com. And you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, under the John Ezzo name. And yeah, but there's lots going on. I'm going to be doing a showcase in Princeton in December at the Princeton Art Academy.
Oh, that's
in
cool.
Princeton. So that's really neat. I'll make sure I get you those.
That's October, not December.
I thought it was December.
October 26th.
October 26th. I'm going
That's
to be
why
doing.
we need Tina.
Yeah, there you
Just
go.
saying.
October 26th, I'm doing a showcase at the Princeton Art Academy.
Princeton Arts Council.
Arts Council, sorry. Yeah, and I'm going to be doing a show.
Tina, do you want to just take the mic? No, I'm teasing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Go ahead, Tina.
But
You have September 28th at the Brunswick Moose Lodge.
that's right, September 28th at the Brunswick Moose Lodge. That's right in North Brunswick, actually.
Okay.
I'm doing a show with Gino our friend.
Yeah.
We're doing a show together in October, but I don't have the date in front of me.
I think that's the 12th.
Yes, that is the 12th. See, I remember it once we say them, and that's also at Hamalate in October. So yeah, we got lots. We got lots of shows coming up, and lots of fun things going on, and I'm working on doing some duets with some people for the next album. I've been
Very
talking to
cool.
people.
Very cool. So now let's play your final track, and then you'll talk about it.
Okay.
Here we go, guys.
Holding on is all we can do. I can see what we're going through, and I don't know where we went wrong. When our world had started to close, we're given answers that nobody knows the questions to anymore. And if nobody knows, tell me what can it show? If we both let go of what we have. So won't you tell me, do you wanna hold on? Do you wanna let go? Why don't you tell me now? Why don't you tell me now? Times have changed, it's so hard to take. You build a wall that's so easy to break that I can't get through to your heart. You keep the meaning but forget the word. You really listen but you rarely heard a word I said to you. And if nobody knows, tell me what can it show? If we both let go of what we have. So won't you tell me, do you wanna hold on? Do you wanna let go? Why don't you tell me now? 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 Tell me now. Tell me
So that was really awesome. You got to tell us about this last song.
So that's that's Tell Me Now. And now, as I said, like the first song that we listened to off the album was a newer recording. And I had mentioned earlier that some of the recordings are old, very old. Well, that particular song was recorded in 1987.
So
that,
the one, wait, the one we just heard right now, that's the 87 version.
that is the 1987 version.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right.
There was a little studio in Jamesburg called Studio 84. And there was a gentleman named Bill Link, who I'm friends with again on Facebook, but he left. He moved out of town and he lives in Nashville now. But he had this little studio that I would go to when I was a much younger man, and I'd record stuff there. I'd write these songs, and my friend Bill is playing the drums on that song. My friend Jared is playing the bass on that song. Jared Lands and Bill Grandin, for those watching that know those people. They're playing those instruments. I'm doing the guitars and the vocals. And but yeah, we recorded that song when we were really young. And you know, through the magic of technology, I had these old recordings. Some of them, like I said, the first song we heard is a newer recording, but that my friend Jeff Small, who, if you have a CD, you'll see that the album is produced by myself and Jeff Small, and I gave Jeff a production credit because he took these old recordings off a cassette and digitized them, then remastered them, remixed them, and made them sound like they were fairly new recordings. So, when you hear that sonically, that sounds like it could have been recorded yesterday. You put it on a big speaker system like we were listening to it. It sounded really great. And then it's full, the production's full, which is a credit to the gentleman, Bill Link, I mentioned, that his production quality at that time. That he produced it very well at that time. And then we, my friend Jeff was able to pull it in and make it sound like it was just done.
That's really cool.
So it's very neat.
So, all right, we still have a few minutes left, and I do have a question for you.
Sure.
Because you mentioned that on one of the recordings you played this, you did this, you did this. So, like, obviously you have to do them separately, and then
Yeah.
you blend them together?
Yes.
That's a pain in the butt. Wow.
It's fun.
It
That's
is?
my favorite part.
For real?
Yeah, it's great.
Not me.
It's,
That's pretty cool, though.
it's
All right.
it's my favorite part of the recording process because it's like building a house. It's like building. You're creating this thing.
It's like me drawing. Let's say it that way. That makes more sense to me instead of building a house. Like when I'm drawing and I'm changing this or fixing it. I love that. So I get it. I get it.
Because it's the way I do it, and I don't know, I can't speak to how anybody else does it. It was how Bill, that gentleman Bill Link that I mentioned, it's how he taught me.
Okay.
Was come in with your rhythm guitar, play with your guitar. He would play a click track. You know what a click track is?
Yes.
Okay. I
Yes.
figured you did. But
Yep.
so he would he would say, play the song for a little bit. Okay. And he would get my pacing and go, okay, now we got the click. Just don't veer from that click, John, and you're going to be fine. And I would record the rhythm guitar to the click. And then I would build the rest of the song around that rhythm guitar. So then, but you've got that click. As long as you stay within that click, well, then you do your drums and you got that click in your ear and you play the drums and then the bass and everything. You just build around from that. And then all of a sudden you've got like 5 tracks of different things and then you mix them together. And it's just, that is the best part.
That's pretty cool then, the way you described it. Okay.
It's so cool,
Okay.
and you get to hear things that, like on one of the songs on the album, there's a thing called panning, and on the song called "I Can't Take It" on the new album "Dreams Are Real," there's a part where like I sing something in the background. I sing something and I shift it to the left speaker and then I shift it to the right speaker. So if you're listening to it, you hear me move from one speaker to another.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Like that's the fun
Okay. No,
of
that's
recording. I love recording.
That's cool. All right. So now I want to read a poem out of my book, guys. All right. And this poem I read often because, I'm going to be getting messages. Oh my gosh, I wish I could sing like him. I wish I could dance like that person. I wish I could write poems. Everybody wishes they could do something that they feel like they don't have any gifts or talents. And I wrote this poem to let people know that everyone has something to offer. Okay, you just got to figure out what it is and utilize it, right?
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I say this all the time. I remember growing up and my cousin was a garbage man. And he used to come in Long Island City and we would wave and they would beep. And imagine if we didn't have garbage men. I mean, think about that, right? So I think they're like right up there to honor. So everybody has something to offer, guys. So if you're doubting yourself, please listen to the words of this poem, Utilizing Gifts and Talents. We are born with talents, we are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry, and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used, God's gift to us, not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them. to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. Don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened, and then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, John Ezzo, baby, will live forever, forever and a day. Okay? Go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. And that's what you're doing.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
what you're doing.
That's
You're
very
making
nice.
people smile with your music.
I'm trying.
Yes.
And but they make me smile that much more. The people who come out and see me play, and there's a core of friends that come out a lot, which is awesome. It's very sweet, and if I'm making them feel good, all the better. So
Yep. So I want to thank you as well.
thank you.
So I
Thank
want to
you so
thank
much.
both of you for being here and honoring me today with this incredible interview. Tina, keep doing what you're doing, girl, because you're doing great. Keep him in line, please, okay?
I'll try.
All right, Tina, everybody.
Thank you.
And then John.
Thank you very much.
What can I say? Thank you for that Elvis song. You're awesome.
Thanks.
Your music is beautiful. Your songwriting is freaking beautiful. And don't forget, you got to write that other song.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll work on it.
Everybody listen, this is also going to be on iHeartRadio next week, the audio of it, so we'll put that out. Everybody share this video. It's already out there. Go to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel. Share it everywhere. Check out his music, please. Tell them once again how they can find your music.
You can find my music streaming on all the streaming services. Like I said, Pandora, Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, YouTube, all the different streaming services. You can go to my website if you want CDs. I have CDs of both of my albums at ezzomusic.com. That's Ezzo, the word music. So EZZOMUSIC.com. Ezzo Music. And come see me. I sell the CDs there. So I'm going to be playing, I said, at Grover's Mill Coffee House in West Windsor this Saturday from 11 to 1. And then on the 21st at Hamalate in Hamilton from 6 to 9 p.m.
So now, in closing, give everybody some words of encouragement.
As far as...
Anything you want to say to them to keep going?
Well, as I mentioned, with my father passing when I was a young man, I think that life can always throw you curveballs. Life can always be very, very hard. And I think as long as you remember, here's my words of encouragement. I wrote a song on the first album called When the Rain Comes Down. And basically the lines are, when the rain comes down, take a look at everything you've got and keep your feet on the ground. Don't you know the hardest part of life is to wait around and find the sun again, because it's always going to come back. So that's my advice is no matter how dark and cloudy your day may be, understand that the sun is always going to come back up. So just hang on long enough, and that sun will be there for you.
Thank you for that. That was beautiful.
Thank you very much.
So, again, everybody, thank you for listening, and please share this show. Producer, take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
when you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.